everyone. This is the Visibility Care Show, the 20-minute show designed to give you the exact tools and tips to get you seen and found by your ideal client. Now join me in welcoming your host, the phenomenal Nake Essen.
Hello everybody, welcome once again to the Visibility Care Show. This is a 20-minute show designed to give you the right dosage of tips and tools to keep you and to help you be seen and found by your ideal clients. Today we have an amazing guest on the show who's going to talk to us really about community engagement. Now you know that there are some people whom you are not even worthy enough to untie the thorns of their personality. And so I am totally excited, totally elated to have this amazing, business owner, strategist, business coach, and everything. I mean, our guest is one person who can dare and do stuff that even we cannot imagine. I mean, we're aspiring to be like him. With him, I learned the word structure, processes, and having a distinct system. I kind of had the idea in my head, but there was no word for it. But with him, I was able to put it into a product that made me 6 figures. He doesn't even know that. And it was just one 2-minute session I listened to one of his summits, and I got this whole awesome idea. And I'm like, oh yes, that's the right word. So he's the one who takes you to that tipping point of wanting to go better, of wanting to be an highly expert. He's the chief lord and master of community mastery, and he understands moving community. Now, this guest online basically makes you understand that you might have all the knowledge in life, you might have all the unique brands and stuff like that. Audiences, if you don't have anybody to actually do that business with you, then you're as good as zilch. And this person is one person who had a community in 2015 and dared to close a community of almost how many thousand people now? And dared to close a community that made almost $800,000. Like, checking the statistics, in like 2 months of opening a community, he's had like 3.4K people already joining. There's no other person. No, guys, get your card ready because we're going to learn a lot. But before then, this guy, my guest, a drum roll up, and welcome to the show. So,
thank you. I mean, I'm wondering if I'm the same person I'm hearing at this particular point in time. It's nice to be here. Really, really nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll get right straight into it, and I'm going to give you the floor to tell us about community mastery and how important it is for your visibility as a business. I'd like you to also talk to us about what we can do and how we can build focus when it comes to building our community. So a lot of business owners that I have related with always feel that once they have a passion, the next best thing is to open a group. And then when they open the group, they realize that it becomes very overwhelming and they can't even keep up and they can't even make any money from it. But you have done it successfully over and over again. Build a cult of raving fans. So I'd like you to take us through the process. I mean, if you take the entire 30 minutes, it's fine. We can be here forever.
Okay, well, fundamentally, if you're going to do that, you've got to understand, first of all, what community mastery actually is. And community mastery is the art and science of creating, leveraging, and monetizing influence. And so there are like basically 2 parts to the entire thing. There's the art part of it that is intuitive, okay, and then there's the science of it that is factual and very, very, step by step, this is what you do kind of thing. All right, so once you understand that, the second thing that you really need to come to terms with is that at the core of all of this, it's about how you create influence, it's about how you leverage influence, it's also about how you monetize influence. Because whichever way you want to look at it today, okay, attention is the commodity of marketplace success in today's world. The more attention you have in the marketplace, the easier it is for you to sell whatever it is that you want to sell. Whether that thing that you want to sell is an idea, whether that thing you want to sell is a product or a service, the more attention you have in the marketplace, the easier it is for you to sell. And the key to attention is influence. The key to attention is influence. And so if you become really, really great at creating influence, in other words, that instant rapport with people, if you become really, really great at knowing how to take advantage of the influence that you currently have and multiply it if you become very, very good at monetizing that influence, and there are multiple ways that you can do that. If you become very, very great at that, look, the sky is not even the limits concerning what you can actually do in the marketplace with whatever it is that you're called to do. And that thing that you said, Nanke, about the fact that we have lots and lots of talented people who are passionate about this or that, it's okay to be talented. It's okay to be brilliant. It's okay to know a lot of stuff. But what's the point being this genius that nobody knows? What's the point being this amazing, talented, really, really good at your stuff person that nobody knows and nobody really, really cares about? And so what Community Mastery does is that it takes all of your talents, all of your giftings, all of the things that you know to do, or all of the things that you're doing, and focuses it at serving a very, very specific group of people. It's not so much about bringing a group of people together. It's more a question of you kickstarting a movement, okay? Getting people to buy into a very, very specific way of thinking about a specific thing in your field. Okay, so in essence, that's what it is. And in order for you to get started with this, you've got to realize that there are three things that are very, very essential. If you get these three things together, then kickstarting your movement, building community becomes very, very easy. The first thing is a future, okay? Every single one of us, Nanke, you, me, any other person watching this or listening to this at this particular point in time, we all think you are currently running. Your primary job is to help people face whatever future that they want for themselves in ways that give them very, very high levels of clarity, in ways that give them a very high level of confidence and makes them feel very, very capable. So it doesn't matter whether you're selling computers or you're selling earphones or you're selling groundnuts or you're selling consulting, whatever it is that you are selling, you've got to be very, very aware of the future that your marketplace wants. Everybody buys one thing or the other because they want that thing to help solve a problem. They want that thing to bring them closer to an ideal future that they want. So the more clarity you provide for people, the more confidence you give them, the more capability you give them concerning that future, the better it is for you generally. So you've got to understand, okay, look, what future do I want to help my marketplace manifest? What is it that they want? How can I articulate it in a way that is meaningful, relevant, and engaging to them? Okay, that's where all of this starts. It starts with that big future that's bigger than the present or the past that you're casting as the vision for the people that you want to lead, for the revolution that you want to start in your field, as the case may be. So if you remember, one of the fun examples that I like to look at is Apple and Steve Jobs and what he did with the Apple line of products. Before he took over the company again in the 80s, the company was almost going under. Okay, he comes in and the very first thing that he does is he casts a vision for his marketplace. And that is about this particular group of people that are not controlled by the status quo, people who are innovative, people who dare to say that, look, the future can be brighter, the future can be better, and the traditional ways of doing things don't have to be the thing that limits each and every single one of us. And so he did that, caught fire, and before you know it, Apple became something that is far, far more than just a computer. It became a symbol for something that is really, really amazing. So fundamentally what I'm saying is that that's where it starts. Okay, it starts with you casting that future, being able to articulate it, being able to talk about it, like I said, in ways that are meaningful, relevant, and engaging. So it starts with that. The second thing that you need if you're going to kickstart a revolution is you need a front man. And that front person is someone who is the leader, more or less, the one that have a problem following. And in order for you to become someone that people will not have a problem following, you've got to be able to pitch. Okay, you've got to be able to communicate that future that you want to cast for people. You've got to be able to communicate it very, very effectively. You've got to be able to have depth. Okay, and the reason why you need depth, in other words, thorough understanding of what you're actually helping people accomplish, the future that you're actually trying to help people to get there. You need to have a thorough understanding of the entire path. And it's important because a good deal of what it takes to build community, a good deal of what it takes to build a revolution is fundamentally about educating people. And if you don't have a level of depth, in my work, I usually say that for any subject matter that you're talking about, it has to be a commitment to build a minimum level of depth. And for me, minimum level of depth is 12 hours a day, 32 days straight, and not repeat yourself. Okay, so if you're able to establish that, and it's possible for you to achieve that level of depth in as little as 60 days, you don't need 4 years of college or university degrees in order for you to do that. You just need dedicated work over a period of 60 days to capture whatever it is in your head, and then you start educating people about it, because it's the education of people that fundamentally attracts them into your movement, that brings them into whatever it is that you are doing. Okay, so you need to be able to communicate that vision effectively. You've got to be able to have depth. Okay, you've got to also have profile. Okay, you've got to be visible. Even if you're starting out and you're not visible, you've got to be able to work on your visibility by leveraging social media. Get the right kinds of people to talk about you. Get the right, get talked about in the right places, and have the right kinds of people also talk about you. It's very, 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 very important. People follow people who are going somewhere. Okay, and if for any particular reason they have a sense that you're not really, really headed in the direction that they would like you to be headed, or they think that you're not making any progress with your life, it becomes a bit of a problem. Okay, so building profile is very, very important. Having a level of depth is very, very important. Being able to communicate that is very, very important. Still on the front, man, two other things are very, very important, and that is the ability to build the right kinds of assets. Okay, because it's one thing for you to create influence. It's a different thing for you to leverage it. It's a completely different ballgame for you to monetize it. Okay, and from the perspective that I talk about movements from, I'm not just talking about what happens within political circles when new movements start up socially or politically. My perspective is that, look, if you're going to generate this level of interest, you might as well monetize the thing. Okay, you might as well monetize it. So for me, it's a very, very vital part of it. And in monetizing, you've got to understand the various kinds of assets that are available to you. There are commercial assets that are available. There are brand assets that are available. There are system assets that you have to put in place. There are relationship assets that you have to put in place. A whole lot of things that you need to put in place in order to make sure that this kind of thing work. And then, of course, finally has to do with collaborations that you have out there in the marketplace, strategically partnering with different kinds of people. You can't build a movement by yourself. You're going to need the influences of other people as well. Okay? So remember, we have the future. It's very, very important. You have the front man. Okay? Very, very important. The third component of it are the followers. Okay? The people who are going to actually be participants in your movement. And these people that are going to be participants in your movement, they're in different levels and different categories. Okay? You have people who should be a part of your movement, should be a part of your community, but they don't know it yet. Okay? They should be a part of your movement, they should be a part of your community, but they're not aware of it. They don't even know that they have those issues that your movement or your community would address. Okay, so there are those people. There are people also who know that they should be a part of it, and they are actively searching. They're actively looking for it. They're actively searching. And the moment they come in contact with you, you don't necessarily have to talk too much about them. They're in. They want to be a part of whatever it is that you are doing. Then, of course, you have those who are actively involved. Okay, but they are not committed financially. Okay, the only way you can test the level of commitment of a person is when they are invested in terms of their time and resources. Okay, if a person plays lip service and claps all the time, okay, and they haven't put their time down, they haven't put their money down, forget about it. They're not committed. In every single relationship, time, money are proof of commitment, whichever way you want to look at it. Whether it's a man and a woman getting together, whether it's at the workplace, what are the things that you need to be aware of? And when you're communicating with people, when you're talking with people, trying to enroll them in your movement and enrolling them in your community, okay? Each and every single one of these people at each and every single one of these levels, you communicate with them differently. The way you communicate with someone who should be in your movement but is not even aware of the fact that they should be there is different from the way you communicate with someone who is actively searching for the solutions that you are offering. So in a nutshell, those are the three things that you really, really need to be. If you're going to kickstart a movement, if you're going to kickstart a community and build that community around your brand, those three things: you need a future, you need a front man, and you need to just make up the basic components of any movement at all that works. So pretty much like that, that's it.
Pathway to actually opening a group or building a community is way beyond just going on Facebook and clicking group and typing it. It actually takes you to understand the specific solution that you are providing for people, and basically having a vision for that group. You have made us to understand that
okay.
You need to absolutely have a specific solution for the people that you are actually putting in the community. And beyond that, people are begging to be silently led, and when they see that you grow to follow you. Something else you talked about was monetizing, like gauging loyalty by actually people who use their resources and who use their finances basically to purchase or to support the ministry, quote unquote. Now, can you say a little bit about that? Is there a right time? Wrong time? Is there a period where you need to train people?
Yes.
Or is there you need to keep the iron by this as well? Is there a right time, or is there also a actual pathway towards
No, it's as early as possible. The sooner, the quickest, easiest way for you to validate the strength of your community and devotion of whoever it is that you're leading is to require commitment from them. The earlier, the better. Your true community. Okay, someone, I've forgotten his name, talks about this whole thing about the fact that if anybody is to establish themselves, okay, in any particular field at all, you need 1,000 true followers. And when they're talking about 1,000 true followers, they're not talking about 1,000 people who say, wow, that's fantastic, good stuff. They're talking about 1,000 people who invest in you month in, month out. Okay, so right from day one, requiring a commitment of some sort from the people who join your community is a basic requirement right from the get-go. Okay, so you sell them on the vision, you enroll them on the vision, and you require commitment from them as early on as possible.
Okay, so I have one last question. You mentioned something about a pathway for you to be known as a subject matter expert, which is like having 12 hours of knowledge about what you do and 32 days without repeating yourself. Now, guys, you must understand something. A part of Victor Bassey's the daily mentor mailing list, and I can open it the depth of the emails that you send, the amount of content. I can open the full business. In fact, sorry, I have used it many times. Intellectual property. How do you ensure that you have an unending flow of valuable content? Now, I'm saying this, I understand the intellectual pathway, but I'm saying this because it's a real crucial problem for a lot of business owners. How do you ensure that your content remains evergreen? You have an unending stream, basically, of content.
So when it comes to this whole thing about content, so if you want to have that unending flow of ideas, you need at the very minimum 52 core ideas for every single thing.
All right. So like you said, basically to curate content and to basically have 2 core ideas around what you do. I mean, that's absolutely amazing information. As a pattern statement, Mr. Victor Bassey, can you just say something to our audience about being intentional about building that visibility, and just one parting note from you.
Oh, okay. So about being intentional when building visibility. Bottom line, it's just to get out there each and every single day and do something. Okay? Get out there each and every single day, do something. But it's not about spreading your self too thin. Master one particular platform, use that particular platform for visibility, and then build on that to gradually extend yourself. Don't try to do too many things at once. Okay? Start with one platform, be consistent there, build a following there, then add another and another and another. That's basically how you do it. For those of you who would like to join us at the Highly Paid Experts Network, simply zip over to highlypaidexpertsnetwork.net. Okay? So just simply go over to highlypaidexpertsnetwork.net. Okay? And fill out the form there, and you'll be taken directly to the community to be a part of it. It's a daily party there each and every single day. We have lots and lots of fun.
Thank you so much, Victor. Thank you so much. I feel like giving you an e-hug. I'm so excited. Thank you very much for being a part of this movement. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for believing in us.
Thank you too.
And we cannot wait to have you again when we have all our guests. All right, have a great day.
Thank you too.
Thanks to your family. We have a fan here as well. Say that. Yeah, people who are.
The pleasure was absolutely mine.
All right.
You too. Thank you.